Everyone. How are you doing? How are you doing? I hope that you all had a blessed day and the evening is awesome. Today is Friday, and I wanted to come on because I didn't come on yesterday, so I wanted to come on today before this week ends, right? And I wanted to talk about starting your making a decision to start your virtual assistant business. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight. But for those who are new to my broadcast or do not know me, my name is Tika Scarborough, and I am a virtual assistant Christian coach. I help new, aspiring, and seasoned virtual assistant earn consistent monthly income. I also take my clients through my unique process which attract and retain clients while increasing revenue so that they can be booked and busy. So, like I mentioned before, we are talking about making the decision to start your virtual assistant business. I'm someone who is a 9 to 5 worker, so most of my clients are nine full-time workers, and they are looking to start their virtual assistant business. Not only are they looking to start their virtual assistant business, they're also looking for um, to build a Christian-based business as well. So my business is Christian based, and I don't compromise my Christian values for no one. And I let it be known that God is the number one in my life because He's the one that made this possible for me. So let's talk about starting that business. Even if you're not a 9 to 5 worker and you want to start your virtual assistant business, this applies to you as well. The process is the same as if you're working a full time and you're transitioning into online entrepreneurship. Now, being a employer is the best. I'm going to say it's the best thing because let me just talk about that just a little bit. Okay. Um, Definitely is the flexibility. And then also it's the freedom to be able to make as much or as little money as you want. I don't think anyone will make as little, but you want to make more. You want to make more than what you either want to match your business, your full-time salary, or you want to triple that. You have goals, you have dreams, you have things that you want to do in your life. You have a mission, right? That you're on, that God has you on, your purpose. And being able to own your own business would afford you to do a lot of things than having to be tied down to a full-time job. Now, a lot of people get into virtual assistant business and still want to stay in with their full-time job. So that's just something, a personal decision that you will have to make. And it doesn't mean that you cannot flourish in your business, but those are the choices that you will make or some people has made. It's like, no, I've been on my job for, certain amount of years. I gave a lot to my job. I want my pension. I want my full benefits. I want all that stuff. And that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And you shouldn't allow someone to encourage you to remove yourself from that if you have your goals. Not only that, you take it to the king, you take it to the father. He's the one that will tell you whether you should stay or you should go, right? And make that decision because he's the one that's going to steer your path, not someone else who's saying that, oh, just leave your job and do full time. You'll make more money doing full time. But if God didn't tell you to leave your job, then I highly recommend that you do not. You will surrender to God. That's all I have to say. So let's move on to starting your business. Now you can start your virtual assistant business whether you want to work it full time or you want to work it part time. I just wanted to read a survey. um, and according to a recent survey conducted by the Association of Virtual Assistants, 54% of respondents operate their business full time, while 46% of respondents describe themselves as part time or providing supplemental income. According to the Association of Virtual Assistants, full time and part time are not necessarily tied to hours. In fact, according to their results, only just over 26% of respondents work 40 hours or more per week. So, as you can see, you have a great deal of flexibility in the number of hours you choose to devote to your business. So, like I was speaking about earlier, whether you are full time worker, or you want to work full time and build your business, or you want to transition, whatever that situation is, it's possible, and you have options. That's the best thing about you know having your own business, that you can do it to supplement your income, or you can build the business so that you can retire from your job early. It's up to you on what you want to do. But if you're currently employed, some of the questions that you may ask and you may consider when you are starting your business. One, should I quit my job and start a virtual assistant business on a full time basis? That is a personal decision that you should make. And of course, like I said, you should be speaking to your father, God, about that decision before you make any decisions on your own. The second thing you should say, should I remain at my current job, or and start my VA business on the side? And a lot of people have done that. I don't ever recommend anybody leaving their job, because I didn't leave my job and I built a successful virtual assistant agency. And when I'm ready to leave, no, that will be my personal choice, along with my father God. Would my employer let me keep my job on a part-time basis so I could be available to meet with clients during business hours and have a secure source of income while I'm getting my business off the ground? So, depending on what corporation you're working with, or if you're working as a consultant, well, as if you're working as a consultant, that's something different. But if you're working for a company, sometimes you have to report extra work to them to let them know that you are working because of conflicts of interest. And depends on, and usually that's like financial companies, banking companies, and things like that. So you do have to report that to your job. Um, so that is something that you will have to look into if this applies to you. Another question that you may consider is, if I leave my job to start my own VA business, can I rely on my current employer to become one of my clients? So, my thing is this, that's a conversation that you need to have with your employer, right? If you do leave your job, if you want to become a consultant. And there are a lot of people and a lot of companies that employees have left and came back, but they came back as consultants, right? Or contractors. So that is possible, right? But these are questions that you should consider before you even jump over and say, "Hey, I'm ready to start my business, and I quit. That's it. You're fired. I'm leaving." Okay. Well, some of these choices will depend on your external factors, such as whether or not your employer allows employees to moonlight. Other choices will be yours to make, right? So, other startup decisions that you want to consider, whether or not you're currently employed, or you have many other decisions that you have to face when you're starting your virtual assistant business. Now, so a lot of these questions people don't ask themselves, and this is why I remember, if you know me, you know me. I like numbers. I like researching. I like to go into surveys to see, how the industry's doing. Should what is going on in the industry, because in the industry that you're working in, or your niche industry, you should be keeping up to date on the trends and new information in there. It's just so worth knowing the information that you know, because that changes the game of your business, and it may affect your business as well. So when you're starting the business, that's just like, for example, me buying my first house. I ask a lot of questions. I make sure that I shopped around for the best interest rate. I looked at the area, the crime rate, the schools. You visit at night to see how things are at night. Um, what got me for my townhouse, the police station was right across the street. Not that I'm living in a bad neighborhood, but just to know that, cops, the police station is right across the street. But that wasn't the only factor. But you do the research and you take a deeper dive before you launch your business, and then realize that you know what, this is wasn't what it was all cracked up to be, and this is not something that I think I can do. And you spend a lot of time trying to find clients, and you getting discouraged. Just remember that just like any other business, this is not something to take lightly. This is why I come on here. Maybe my lies may be boring to you. I don't know. Maybe you may get something from this. I don't know, but I pray that you do get something from this, and you n- get what I'm saying to you as far as that foundation for your business. Now, some of the examples that when you're starting up and making that decision, should I have a specialized or offer a general services to your potential clients? This is something that you should be identifying before you start your virtual assistant business. And what I have been seeing is that a lot of people who wants to get into the virtual assistant industry, they dive head first and they're like, oh, this is what I want to do. And then they ask all these questions, they get confused, they get discouraged because now they can't find no clients, or they don't know if they're in the right niche, or they're jumping from niche to niche, or because it's a popular niche, okay, this is the niche I'm going to go to because this is the money maker. But if it's not for you, and this is something that you don't love and it's not your passion, then that's not the way you should go. So this is why these are the things that you should consider before starting your virtual assistant business. Another question you should ask yourself is, should I incorporate this business? Should I do this, starting out as I think it's I forgot the thing when before you don't have to do the license, you can use your social security and a W9 form for that, right? Without using a license. You can do that. Just start out before you start doing the paperwork and doing a name and doing logos and doing all that stuff. Try it out and see if this is something you want to do. But again, research, research, and do your research and see and really take a deeper dive for in yourself to see if this is something that you want to do. And if that's the specialized services that you want to offer, then take some training. If you need to learn more, take some training and get yourself ready. If if you want to offer just general services to start, and you've been doing it for years, and that how to support your clients doing administrative tasks because you know the software and the tools and all that stuff, and know how to navigate through a computer, then you can start with just those services. Should I work with one or more partners? That is another question that you should ask yourself as well. Do you want to do this alone, or do you have someone who has just as much passion that you do to want to start a virtual assistant business? And perhaps maybe you want to do something with someone, and then you could bring your skill sets together to create a business, and y'all can work together. Another question that you should ask yourself, where should I set up my office? Right? Even though this is a virtual environment, some people just can't work at home. Some people got to go to the library, some people got to go to the coffee shop. But of course, now, we're really have to make the decision to do it home and make it work at home because even though things has gotten better, it's not whereas it's like everybody's full blown and okay, we out there. We still have to be careful because of the pandemic, right? Um, so being home is the smartest thing to do is setting up your office. Like, where am I going to set up my office? If you have kids and you got family, whatever, find a place that that you can work at a little. It could be a little small little corner. It doesn't matter. It's your space, right? But dedicate to finding a space to set up. What should I name my company? So if you do decide that you want to do the license and this is something that you want to do, then decide what are the name going to be. I'm not going to get into that because I go deeper into that in the course. that I will be offering to you, the beta course that I'll be offering to you later today. Another question you should be asking, like, okay, what kind of systems do I need to set up? You need to map out those systems so that when you do start your business is all set up, your systems is all set up. You got the necessary tools that you need in order for you to make this business work, right? Like, for example, do you have a PayPal or Stripe to take payment? Did you set up a professional email? It doesn't have to be something that you invest in like G Suite. It could be a simple Gmail account, but making sure that it's a professional Gmail account, not a Gmail that says boss, skullhead 91 or something like that, right? Maybe your first name, your last name at gmail.com. If it's not available, first initial last name, last name, first initial, however, but just make it personal, or it can be the name of your business that you plan on using. uh how much should I invest in my startup course? Being working starting out as a virtual assistant is very low cost. Number one, that's the best one of the best things about starting your online business is that you don't need much to start up. So just like I just previously talked about setting up your systems, PayPal is free, Gmail is free, um, email's free, Google Docs is free, Word is free. All those things are free, right? So you don't have to invest in any subscriptions right now because you don't have any clients and you're just starting. And even if you do have a client, you don't have to invest in these subscriptions until you start building up your clientele. Now, you do need a computer, right? You do need some form of printer if you're someone that you can't all day read on a computer and you need to print it out and read on a thing. You do need a phone, right? These are the things that are necessary. We all have phones, right? We all using phones. Phones are necessary now, right? For emergency, for businesses, for family, to keeping in touch with everyone. So phones is and a computer is the two definite hardwares that you really, really need in addition to the software in order for things to work, right? Should I hire a support staff? That is something that you don't have to consider right now, but hey, put it down there. Put your vision down. I mean, you should ask that question for yourself. Am I looking to really grow my business eventually? What type of insurance should I get? Even if you are starting your virtual assistant and you don't have a full-time job with benefits, then maybe that's something that you want to consider. Looking into the type of insurance that they do have for freelancers, for online businesses and things like that. That's research that you will have to look into. So that is a cost to it, right? There's a cost to the insurance that you need. What fees should I charge? These are the things that you should be thinking about just to the ball rolling as you start your virtual assistant business. So there are nonprofit organizations out there to help you. And there is a small business administration that you can go to. You can go to your small business administration website and you can get a lot of information on small businesses. You also can go to, it's a nonprofit organization called the SBA. No, I'm sorry, SCORE. It's called SCORE. I use SCORE as well when I started my business. I actually got some help with getting information about setting up my business, and then also creating a business plan and things like that. And it gives you a whole wealth of information about starting your business. So visit your local, I don't know outside the country, but I know within the US, in each borough, they do have a nonprofit organization called SCORE. All you gotta do is just go to Google SCORE, it'll come up, right? Um, they do have something called Nolo.com, Nolo, and that is a publisher of plain English legal information. So their website is also offered, they offer free advice on a variety of small business matters. So that's another helpful site for you to go on to take a look at some of the legal matters and some English legal stuff, and get some advice on your business. I am not a lawyer. I can't advise you on any legal stuff, okay, because I am not licensed in that, but I can provide you and steer you in the right direction in order for you to get the information that you need in order for you to start your business. And that is another form of information that you need in order for you to get information about your business. So I'm going to come on live tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about creating a business plan. We're going to talk about scammers. We're going to talk about information, marketing plan, your clients, your pricings. It's a whole wealth of information that I want to share with you. But in the meantime, I would like to offer you the opportunity to join my beta course. My beta course is for new virtual assistant who wants to, new women, Christian women who wants to learn how to become a virtual assistant. So a lot of things that I've been talking about here, the content, we're going to take a deeper dive into a lot of these things so I can prepare you to start your virtual assistant business. So click the link above and apply for the beta course so that you can get started in the new year. So that will be a Christmas gift to yourself. Give a gift to yourself. I always give, a gift myself for Christmas. I don't depend on anybody to, always buy me gifts. It's not about, gifts. It's about, you know, our Father God, Jesus the Son, everything, just celebrating the birth and all that stuff. Yeah, it's about that. It's not always about gift, but if you do want to invest in yourself, then apply for the beta course because we'll be starting in January 2022. So I hope that you enjoyed this information, and I hope to see y'all in the new year, um, geared up and ready to rock and roll to start your virtual assistant business. So I want to thank you if you joined me live. And if you joined me live, put in the comments. I'm not sure if anybody left any comments here. Looks like no one did, but that's okay. That's all right. It's here. It will stay here. And if you are joining me on the replay, put in hashtag replay. And then also let me know where you're tuning in from, and so that I can welcome you to my broadcast. Thank you guys, and have a blessed evening. And I will see you tomorrow. All right, guys. Talk to you later.